Many people believe the notion that some people are left-brained, or innately logical, rational, and analytical, and that other people are right-brained and innately intuitive, creative, artistic, and spontaneous. However, it is likely that this notion simply isn't true and is a work of pop psychology. So, what is the truth? In 1981, Roger Sperry won the Nobel Prize for his research on split brain patients. Split brain surgery is an uncommon treatment for severe epilepsy, in which surgeons sever the corpus callosum, which connects the two hemispheres of the brain. Sperry studied how split brain patients functioned, noting that in most people, visual stimuli reach both hemispheres of the brain eventually, but this is not the case with split brain patients. In these patients, neither brain hemisphere is aware of the other, and, as a result, each hemisphere works independently, which can cause some interesting mix-ups as each hemisphere races the other to complete tasks. Sperry's research contributed tremendously to figuring out how the brain's hemispheres work, but most recent literature on this topic indicates that, in fact, each side of the brain is relatively better at performing certain mental tasks. However, this difference is quite minor. For example, the left brain is better equipped to deal with grammar and word recall, but the right brain is more proficient in innotation and emphasis. Both sides of the brain deal extensively with language, and one side may begin a task first, but both brain hemispheres will contribute in order to complete the task. In fact, the two brain hemispheres typically communicate during most tasks in daily life. Despite these findings, many pop psychologists have touted that every person has a dominant hemisphere, and that each hemisphere has its own strengths. Many books, seminars, and CDs have been published encouraging people to tap into their creative right hemisphere or their logical left hemisphere. I am entirely guilty of believing that I am right-brained and simply bad at spatial reasoning, but great at creative endeavors. Many people want to believe that they can dichotomize their brain. It's a lot easier to blame our inabilities on things we cannot control instead of our own personal strengths or learning styles. However, a panel of experts gathered by the U.S. National Academy of Sciences agreed that there is no evidence that dichotomized hemispheric utilization can be trained, and that learning how to solve problems differently is a useful skill, but probably not because we are exercising just one part of our brain. You would think that this would sufficiently shut down pop psychologists' products, which are dedicated to training our minds, but unfortunately, you would be mistaken. As a result of the panelists' findings, which studied how our brain hemispheres can work independently, many new gadgets were added to the market, promoting users to synchronize their brain hemispheres. Unfortunately, these gizmos also likely don't work, and may even be damaging due to their effects tampering with already optimized brain function. Ultimately, most people likely would not benefit from any kind of brain workout that aims to exercise either hemisphere, alone or together. Although you may be better at art, it probably isn't because one of your brain hemispheres is dominant, and it's much more effective to attempt to learn new skills by utilizing your entire brain instead of just one side of it.